Welcome back, everyone, to Everyday English Pod. We usually focus on just general conversation, but today we're going to kind of change things up a little bit. We're going to get into some pretty specific phrases that you hear all the time if you're working in the business world here in the good old USA.
That's right. So if you're trying to navigate the American workplace, whether you're getting ready for a meeting or trying to understand emails or just kind of curious about how we use language at work here, well, really getting these phrases can give you a big advantage.
I think that's a great point. We've got a whole bunch of common American business idioms for you today. These are those tricky phrases where the words don't actually mean what they seem to mean on the surface. So we'll break them down for you. We'll talk about what they really mean, how people use them, and how understanding them can really help you out in your career.
And we've got quite a few to cover, like somewhere around 100. We've got idioms for everything from starting projects to dealing with setbacks to understanding, the kind of unspoken rules of the workplace. Now, we don't expect you to memorize all of these today, but we do want you to get a good feel for the most important ones, the ones that you're really going to hear a lot.
So let's dive in. We're going to start with phrases you hear when people are talking about getting started on something or making progress. The first one is touch base. What does that mean in American business?
Touch base is a super common one. It basically means to quickly connect with someone, usually just to check in on how things are going. So like you might hear someone say, hey, let's touch base next week and see how the project's coming along. It's just a quick update, nothing formal.
So like instead of scheduling a whole meeting, you just say touch base, and it means a really quick check-in.
Right. Just a quick informal chat. And that leads us to our next one. Get the ball rolling.
Okay, that one seems pretty obvious. It means to get started on something, right? Like actually start a project or a task.
Yeah, exactly. It's about getting things moving. Like you might hear a boss say, all right, team, let's get the ball rolling on that new marketing campaign. Let's assign some tasks. It signals the beginning of action.
Not just talking about it, but actually starting the work. Okay, what about when something is started, but it's not finished yet? We've got in the pipeline.
In the pipeline, yeah, that's another good one. It's for things that are in progress or being developed. So, for example, if you were asking about new features for a software program, someone might say, we got some really cool updates in the pipeline for the next version. It just means they're being worked on.
So it's a way of talking about future stuff that's already underway. Okay, I got it. How about hit the ground running? That one kind of makes me think of being really fast and efficient.
It is about that. Hit the ground running means you start something and immediately make a lot of progress. Like you don't waste any time getting up to speed. You just jump right in and start being productive. So you might hear it in a job interview. We need someone who can hit the ground running, meaning they want someone who can contribute right away.
Okay, so those first few were all about starting things and moving forward. Now let's talk about problem solving and success. The first one is hit the nail on the head. I love that one. It's so visual.
Hit the nail on the head. It means to perfectly describe what's causing a problem, like to identify the root cause. You might hear it in a meeting like, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that our communication needs improvement.
So it's like that aha moment when you finally understand what the real issue is.
Exactly. And then once you know what the problem is, you often need to find a creative solution. That's where think outside the box comes in.
I hear that one all the time at work. Think outside the box. It basically means to come up with new and innovative ideas.
Yeah, you got it. It's about coming up with something different, something that maybe no one has thought of before. Like, we've been doing things the same way for too long. We need to think outside the box if we want to stay competitive.
So it's like ditching the old way of doing things and trying a brand new approach. That's a really important one in American business culture. Now, what about when everyone wins? We have a win-win situation.
A win-win situation is pretty simple. It's an outcome where everyone involved benefits. Like both sides are happy with the result. So you might hear it during a negotiation. Someone might say, this deal could be a real win-win for both of our companies.
It's that ideal scenario where no one feels like they lost out. Everyone gets something good.
Right. It's about mutual benefit. And the last one in this set is a game changer. This is something that's really big and important.
A game changer is something that completely changes the situation, usually for the better. Like you might hear about a new technology and someone says, this is a total game changer, meaning it has the potential to revolutionize an entire industry.
Exactly. It's not just a small improvement. It's something that has the potential to shake things up in a really big way.
So those were some idioms about problem solving and success. Now let's move on to control and decision making. We have in the driver's seat. What do you think that means?
In the driver's seat. That means you're in control. You're the one making the decisions. So like once we get the budget approved, you'll be in the driver's seat for the rest of the project.
So if you're in the driver's seat, you're the one calling the shots.
Right. And that leads us to our next idiom. Call the shots.
So if you call the shots, it means you're the one who's in charge, like you're the boss.
Exactly. It means you have the authority to make decisions. Like in this company, the CEO calls the shots.
So in the driver's seat and call the shots are pretty similar, but maybe call the shots is more about specific decisions, while in the driver's seat is more about the overall control.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a subtle difference, but I think that's a good way to think about it. And then we have run the show.
Run the show sounds like it's even bigger than call the shots. Like you're in charge of everything.
Yeah, it's about being in charge of a whole situation or event or department. Like she really knows how to run the show. She's an excellent manager.
So if you run the show, you're the one in charge. You're the one everyone looks to for direction.
That's it. And then we have take the lead.
Okay, what about that word?
Take the lead means to step up and guide others. It's about taking initiative. So for example, you might be in a meeting and no one's really sure what to do next. Someone might say, okay, I'll take the lead on this and figure out a plan.
It's like volunteering to be the leader.
Right. It shows that you're willing to take charge.
Okay, those were all about control and decision-making. Now let's look at agreement and understanding. We have on the same page. I hear that one all the time.
On the same page. It means everyone has the same understanding of something, like they're in agreement. So for example, before we move forward, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page about the goals of this project.
So it's about making sure that everyone understands the plan and agrees with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's about avoiding confusion and making sure everyone's working towards the same goal. We also have meeting of the minds.
Meeting of the minds. That sounds kind of formal.
It's a little bit more formal. It means that people have come to an agreement after discussion or debate. Like after a lot of back and forth, we finally had a meeting of the minds and signed the contract.
So it's that moment when everyone finally agrees on something.
Exactly. Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
And they've put their differences aside. And then we have on the same wavelength.
On the same wavelength. That sounds kind of like on the same page, but maybe a little bit more, I don't know, intuitive.
I think you're right. On the same wavelength is more about sharing the same ideas or ways of thinking. Like you and I, we're often on the same wavelength when it comes to teaching English.
It's like you just kind of get each other. You don't even have to explain things. You're just naturally in sync.
Exactly. You just click.
Okay, I get it. So those were all about agreement and understanding. Now let's move on to setbacks and starting over. We have back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board. It means a plan has failed and you have to start over from the beginning. Like our first attempt at the product didn't work out. So it's back to the drawing board.
So it's like admitting defeat and going back to square one.
Yeah, it's like saying, okay, that didn't work. Let's try again. We also have drop the ball. That one's not so good.
Drop the ball. It means you made a mistake. You messed something up. Like I really dropped the ball in that presentation. I forgot to include the most important data.
It means you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And usually it has negative consequences.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to do. It's like saying I screwed up and then there's behind the eight ball. I don't even know what that means, literally.
Behind the eight ball. It means you're in a difficult situation, like you're at a disadvantage. So we're really behind the eight ball on this project. We're way behind schedule.
So it's like you're struggling to catch up. You're in a tough spot.
Exactly. And the last one in this set is back to square one.
Back to square one. That sounds a lot like back to the drawing board.
They are similar, but maybe back to square one is even more, I don't know, basic. Like you have to start over completely from scratch.
Like you've lost all your progress and you have to begin again.
Yeah, exactly. Like the computer crashed and we lost all our work, so it's back to square one.
Oof, that's a tough one. Okay, those were about setbacks. Now let's talk about efficiency and being direct. We have cut to the chase. I love that one.
Cut to the chase. It means get to the point. Don't waste time with unnecessary details like, I know you're busy, so I'll cut to the chase. Here's what I need from you.
It's like saying skip the small talk and tell me what's important.
Yeah, it's about being direct and efficient with your communication. And we also have get down to business.
Get down to business. That sounds similar.
It is similar. It means to start working seriously on something. Like, All right, everyone, enough chit-chat. Let's get down to business and start this meeting.
So it's like a signal to stop messing around and get focused on the task at hand.
Exactly. No more distractions. It's time to work.
Those were good ones. Now let's talk about money. We have in the black.
In the black. It means you're making a profit, your finances are in good shape. Like, after a few tough years, the company is finally back in the black.
So it's the opposite of being in debt.
Right. And the opposite of in the black is in the red.
In the red. That means you're losing money. You're in debt.
Exactly. Like, unfortunately, the company is still in the red after that failed product launch.
So those are pretty straightforward. And then we have the bottom line.
The bottom line, yeah, that's a big one. It means the most important thing. The key takeaway. Like, the bottom line is that we need to increase sales if we want to stay in business.
So it's like saying, this is the most important thing to remember.
Right. And then we have money talks.
Money talks. I think I know what that one means. It means that money has a lot of influence. Like, it can make things happen.
Exactly. It means that financial incentives are powerful motivators. So you might hear something like, we were hoping to get a better deal, but money talks. They offered us a really good price.
Yeah, it's kind of a cynical way of saying that money is often the deciding factor. Okay, those were all about finances. Now let's talk about progress and opportunities. We have on the fast track.
On the fast track, it means you're progressing quickly towards a goal, usually a career goal. Like, she's really on the fast track to becoming a partner in the firm.
So it's like you're moving up the ladder quickly. You're making great progress.
Exactly. You're on your way to the top. And then we have on the horizon.
On the horizon. That one makes me think of something that's coming soon.
You got it. On the horizon means something is expected to happen in the near future. Like, we've got some exciting new products on the horizon.
So it's a way of talking about future developments that are coming up soon. Okay,
Right.
What about get your foot in the door?
Get your foot in the door. That's a good one. It means to get your first opportunity in a new field or company. Like, you might take an internship or a low-level job just to get your foot in the door.
So it's that first step, that initial opportunity that can lead to bigger things.
Right. And then once you've got your foot in the door, you have a foot in the door.
So get your foot in the door is the action of getting that opportunity. And a foot in the door is the opportunity itself.
Exactly. And both of those are really important in the American business world. Okay, now let's talk about effort and standards. We have go the extra mile.
Go the extra mile. It means to do more than what's expected, to put in extra effort.
You got it? Like, she always goes the extra mile for her clients. She's always willing to help out, even if it's not her job.
It's about going above and beyond. And then we have raise the bar.
Raise the bar. It means to set higher standards. Like, you might hear, we need to raise the bar on the quality of our products if we want to compete with the best.
So it's about setting challenging goals and pushing yourself to achieve more.
Right. It's about striving for excellence. And the last one in this set is not up to scratch.
Not up to scratch. It means something isn't good enough. It doesn't meet the standards.
Yeah, it's a polite way of saying that something needs improvement. Like, your work on this project wasn't quite up to scratch. I need you to do it again.
So it's like constructive criticism. It's a way of saying you need to do better.
Right. So pointing out areas where someone can improve.
Okay. Those were about effort and standards. Now let's look at dealing with challenges. We have take the bull by the horns.
Take the bull by the horns. It means to face a challenge head on, to be proactive and take control of the situation.
So instead of avoiding a problem, you confront it directly.
Exactly. Like, we can't keep ignoring this issue. We need to take the bull by the horns and deal with it.
It's about being brave and decisive. And then we have hit a snag.
Hit a snag. It means to encounter an unexpected problem. Like, we were making good progress on the project, but we hit a snag when the funding fell through.
So it's like an obstacle that you have to overcome.
Right. It's a setback that you have to deal with. And then there's pull the plug.
Pull the plug. That sounds kind of drastic.
It is. It means to stop something completely. Usually because it's not working. Like, we had to pull the plug on that new product line. It just wasn't selling.
So it's a tough decision to make, but sometimes it's necessary to cut your losses.
Right. And the last one in this set is stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. I think that one's about being firm in your beliefs.
You got it. It means to stand your ground even when people are pressuring you to change your mind. Like, I know it's a tough decision, but I think we need to stick to our guns on this one.
It's about being confident and not giving in easily. Okay, those were about dealing with challenges. Now let's look at uncertainty and delays. We have up in the air.
Up in the air, it means something is uncertain. It hasn't been decided yet. Like, The future of the company is up in the air right now. We're not sure what's going to happen.
So it's like things are in limbo. Nothing's been finalized yet.
Exactly. And then we have, on the back burner.
On the back burner. It means to put something on hold, to postpone it.
Right, like we've had to put the expansion plans on the back burner for now. We don't have the resources.
So it's not completely canceled, but it's not a priority right now.
Exactly. And then we have lead time.
Lead time, what's that one?
Lead time is the amount of time it takes to complete a process. Like the lead time on that new product is 6 months. So we need to start working on it now if we want to launch it on time.
So it's the time from start to finish. Okay, I got it. Now let's talk about teamwork. We have close ranks.
Close ranks. It means to come together as a group, especially when facing a challenge. Like after the CEO resigned, everyone had to close ranks and support each other.
So it's about unity and solidarity.
Right. It's about working together to overcome a difficult situation. And then we have all in the same boat.
All in the same boat. It means everyone's in the same situation. They're all facing the same challenges.
Exactly. Like we're all in the same boat with these budget cuts. Everyone's going to have to make sacrifices.
It's like a shared experience. And then we have bring something to the table.
Bring something to the table. It means to contribute something valuable to a project or discussion. Like we need to solve this problem.
So it's about everyone sharing their skills and expertise.
Right. It's about working together as a team.
Okay, those were about teamwork. Now let's talk about communication. We have open door policy.
Open door policy. It means that managers are accessible to their employees. They're willing to listen to concerns and feedback.
So it's a way of encouraging open communication.
Right. It creates a more transparent and collaborative work environment. And then we have under the radar.
Under the radar. That sounds kind of sneaky.
It can be. It means to do something without attracting attention. Like he's been working on that new project under the radar. No one knows about it yet.
So it's about being discreet and avoiding publicity.
Exactly. It's about keeping things quiet. Okay, now let's look at some more figurative idioms. We have a horse of a different color.
A horse of a different color. I think that one means something is completely different.
You got it. It means something is completely separate or unrelated. Like we were talking about marketing strategies, but then he started talking about his personal life. That's a horse of a different color.
So it's like changing the subject to something completely different.
Exactly. And then we have a fish out of water.
A fish out of water. That makes me think of someone who's uncomfortable in a situation.
Exactly. It means you're out of your element. Like, I felt like a fish out of water at that fancy dinner party. I didn't know anyone.
It's like you don't belong there. And then there's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a good one. It means someone appears harmless, but is actually dangerous or untrustworthy.
It's like they're hiding their true intentions.
Exactly. It's a warning to be careful of people who seem too good to be true. We also have a rolling stone gathers no moss.
A rolling stone gathers no moss. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a proverb. It means that people who are constantly moving and changing never settle down or build anything lasting.
So it's like a trade-off. You might experience a lot of different things, but you might not have deep roots anywhere.
Right. And the last one in this set is a needle in a haystack.
A needle in a haystack. I know that one. It means something is really hard to find.
Exactly. Like trying to find that one email in my inbox is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
It's about something being almost impossible to locate. Okay, those are some good ones. Now let's look at time and deadlines. We have at the 11th hour.
At the 11th hour. It means at the last possible moment. Like we finally finished the project at the 11th hour, just before the deadline.
So it's like cutting it really close.
Right. It's about doing something just in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have burn the midnight oil.
Burn the midnight oil. I think that one means to work late into the night.
You got it.
Yeah.
It means to work long hours, often past midnight. Like, we had to burn the midnight oil to get that presentation ready.
It's about putting in those extra hours to get the job done.
Exactly. And finally, we have a few miscellaneous idioms that are also quite common in American business English. Like think ahead, which means to plan for the future. Buy the book, which means to follow the rules. Cut corners, which means to do something quickly and cheaply, but often with lower quality. Put all your eggs in one basket, which means to risk everything on one thing. A seat at the table, which means to be included in important discussions. A tough act to follow, which means someone has set a high standard. By all means, which means yes, definitely. Take it or leave it, which means an offer is non-negotiable. Lead by example, which means to set a good example for others. Call it a day, which means to stop working for the day. Play hardball, which means to be tough and uncompromising in negotiations. Play it by ear, which means to improvise and adapt as you go. A clean slate, which means a fresh start. Let the chips fall where they may, which means to let things happen naturally. Step up to the plate, which means to take responsibility. Put the cart before the horse, which means to do things in the wrong order. Sweep something under the rug, which means to hide a problem. A penny for your thoughts, which means, what are you thinking? On the up and up, which means honest and trustworthy. Make waves, which means to cause a stir or disruption. A big ask or a tall order, which both mean a difficult request. Take a step back, which means to pause and reassess the situation. Off the beaten path, which means unconventional or different. A long shot, which means something is unlikely to succeed. And finally, learn the ropes, which means to learn how to do something.
That was a lot of idioms.
It was. But I hope it was helpful. Learning these idioms can really help you understand and be understood in the American business world.
I agree. And the best way to learn them is to listen for them in real conversations. Pay attention to how people use them and what they mean in different contexts.
And don't be afraid to use them yourself. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
That's great advice. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into American business idioms. We hope you learned something new.
Thanks for having me.
And be sure to tune in next time for more fun and informative episodes of Everyday English Pod.